right, so we got Dominique Schaefer and we got Kong taking on Castillo and Tereschenko here for our ladies doubles, the first game of this second match. Beautiful little drop volley there.
0-0-1.
Irina, an OG, very celebrated MLP player. And then the three other girls fairly new to the MLP scene. Fairly new, I mean, they have some experience in MLP, but nowhere near as much as Irina.
Castillo just signed a PPA contract. Kong and sub a couple of times. Dominique Schaefer played for the Smash team you played for.
Yeah, yeah.
Irina, definitely one of the most decorated Major League Pickleball players in the history of this great league. Taking home multiple championships, but also just a phenomenal ambassador for the sport over the past decade. Swinging that signature paddle tech paddle.
Yeah, Irina definitely knows the game very well. And I'm sure she's doing a great job leading Judit and her whole team, actually. It's a very young team. So she's going to be a good leader for everyone.
0-1-2.
0-1-2.
Nice drive there from Dominique.
You see that single skill set coming out, that forehand rip.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of that from Dominique. She's a heavy hitter.
Side out.
Saw that a little bit last game. Schaefer getting caught in that transition zone.
Yeah, that's the problem. If you're a ripper and you're playing experienced players, sometimes it can backfire, and that's what we just saw there. Irina's more than ready for that.
Oh, what great defense. Being able to just get one more back.
Yeah,
catching Tereschenko.
1-1-2. I'll recall. 1-1-2.
What a let go there. That is a veteran move if I've ever seen one. Great positioning, being able to reset that ball and then letting that one go.
Yeah, I feel like most people would hit that ball.
I for sure would have.
Side out.
Judit leaning back there. I think she could have done with an extra step back and then transferring her body weight through.
1-2-1.
I say that just because I was playing with Lee earlier and she said that to me, and now I'm noticing it. Great lob. What a rally.
That is a signature point right there. That one will make some highlight reels for sure. You saw Castillo being really athletic. Schaefer being able to reset some of those. Kong just non-stop on that point.
Yeah, and you can tell that they're targeting Judit because she's seeing 70% of the shots right now.
Point.
It's a big time serve. Yeah, that's a great point to be able, when you're targeted like that, what's some mental things that you're going through your head?
3, 2, 1.
If that's you.
That's something actually I went through yesterday playing with Anna Lee. I saw 9 out of 10 balls, and yeah, it was exhausting. It was exhausting because you're bound to make more mistakes if you're the one hitting more shots, and so it can be a little bit of a spiral if you make a couple mistakes because you feel like you're the one missing everything, but you're seeing all the balls. So It's a tough position to be in.
Point.
Yeah, I think Judit is experiencing that right now.
4-2-2.
4-2-2 is the score here. So the Hustlers look to take game one.
Good drive, right in her
Big
body.
drive. You see the footwork there from Tereschenko, not able to get that one over the net.
5-2-2. Timeout.
Yeah, tough one to speed up from your shoelace down there.
It looks like something I would do.
But also really hard to slow that ball down and dink it from her feet when it's coming fast like that. So I understand the need to pull that just because she probably didn't want to pop it up. Yeah, they're putting a lot of pressure on Judit.
They are definitely going after her right there. Yeah, I like just getting the ball back over the net makes anything happen, right? So when they're playing these defensive scrambles,
2-5-2.
leaving it short doesn't help anybody.
Side out.
Lingwei really being assertive and going for it and taking over right now. I like it.
They had a pretty close women's doubles match earlier today where you got to see a little bit of her skill set really in that middle take over. So it looks like game number 2 here on this is
Point.
starting to prevail.
6-2-1. New York.
There we go. The side switch is happening here.
You really have to make sure you stay hydrated and drinking electrolytes as well.
Schaefer stepping in. It's a new teammate there, so you see they're still working on some chemistry. Yeah, it looked like it was raining in the first match, but that was just Ignatowicz sweat everywhere. Judit still trying to stay engaged in that point. Creeped over right into Tereschenko's vision.
SoCal. 8-2-2.
All right.
That changes things, just to give it a go. I mean, that's very simple advice, but that's all I got right now.
I think that's really good advice because if I'm playing coach on the other side, New York, I'm going, hey guys, get some water, be hydrated. Don't change a single thing of what we're doing here. Just pulled the trigger. You can see Tereschenko definitely taking more of those balls, but that was a defensive display.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing, Dominique is playing great, don't get me wrong, but Lingwei is dictating and being super assertive and super aggressive, and she, I feel like, is winning the points. So something the SoCal Hard Eights could do is maybe target Dominique a little bit more. Not that she's missing by any means. Just Lingwei is hot right now.
That ball was close. New York called it out. SoCal's going to challenge that one.
We need motivation necessarily, but he's a critical part of the team. And you feel it when he's not here. So I can only imagine how the Hustlers are feeling with no coach, no GM.
Is possible right now. So you got 2-9-1 for SoCal.
Yeah. All right, well, they're fired up. Didn't affect them.
2-9-2. Point.
Ooh, I like that. I tell you, something I'm noticing here, and as a mediocre 4-0 player, maybe Judit here, mixing it up a little bit, changing up her patterns. Seems to be like she won that one, but that was more because Kong decided to change the pattern.
Well, I think Kong has been aggressive this whole match and successful being aggressive. And so she saw what she thought was an opening and went for it. And I don't fault her for that, just because that's the mindset she's had this whole match, and it's worked. Oops.
Ooh. Watch your lips. That thing cruising to the outside courts. Wow.
It's tough because the lighting is pretty difficult with just coming from all the different angles.
So while we're searching for that ball, you said something right there that she saw that opening to pull the trigger. So for the fans at home, what's something that they could notice in the game that you see when that opening happens? Is it some footwork at the kitchen line? What is it on how to notice that opening?
Well, I think the lower that you are with your stance, the better view you have on how high the ball is. You know, the taller you are, and if you have a bird's eye view, it's harder to see the height of the ball. You just see the trajectory of the ball. Oh, sorry, you don't see the trajectory of the ball. The lower you are and the more you can get your eyesight in line with the net, you're able to see the
9-3-2.
how high that dink is.
Point.
All right, match point.
10-3-2. Side out.
Well, she went for that winner right down the middle.
Well, and same thing goes for Dominique. You know, she's been ripping that and getting a bunch of points on that. So on match point 10-3, she should do that.
If you're up by a lot, I like that.
Good serve by Irina.
Hyping up her teammate there.
Yeah, trying to just keep Dominique calm and supporting her.
You hear a big, loud yell there from Kong, trying to keep her teammates fired up.
Yeah, Lingwei's doing a great job here. Really stepping up, being a good leader.
4-10-2.
Great take by Castillo there.
Dominique feels a little bad about that one.
Yeah,
Put her paddle up to her face.
I think one more in timeout.
Side out.
The hand paddle not working just yet. All right, so we got side out. Game point number 3 here for the SoCal Hard Eights.
For Hustlers.
Sorry, the
There we go.
Hustlers. And they get it. You are correct.
Yep.
And the Hustlers take it right there. Game number 1. They got the W.
Here we go. Game 2.
I barely made it in time for the match.
Time in. 0-0-2. Point.
Ooh. There was actually a strong gust of wind there. I don't know if you can see it on the stream.
1-0-2.
We'll put it down to the wind. Yeah, Ryan's got a very nice flick out the air.
It's that South Florida flick right there.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of that several times.
0-1-1.
Great take by AJ. Something Brian does really well is he disguises all of his shots where they look like they're going to be a speed up, and then he just dinks it. And I think that's so effective because then when he does speed it up, he can really easily catch people off guard. Oh, wow. Okay.
What an
interesting point.
athletic point there. Madonia's showing off some hand skills. Yeah, you talk about Ryan Fu and his ability to disguise his shots. He's a tutelage there from Ignatowicz.
Yeah.
We saw that last match.
Yeah, James is definitely a very technical and advanced player, and he's taught his friends very well how to play, and you can see it in their styles. You got Ryan, Max Freeman. They play very wristy, similar to James.
Madonia sliding into the kitchen, making his approach to the line, then able to put it away.
They were both there. That's, I guess, a good problem to have, that they're both there, but...
That's just impressive. The Hustlers taking on that onslaught, being able to reset those balls like that.
Yeah. Oh.
Just long from Madonia, but he had that combo set up. Four zero two.
Yep, the Hustlers off to a good start. Great consistency from Ryan there. I think a lot of people think that, you know, the typical saying where pickleball is like not very athletic and you can just kind of play without moving that much, and that's just not the case at this level. But Ryan is a really good example of that. The way he plays is so physical. He is squatting for every dink. His quads must be burning, but that's what it takes to be able to disguise your shots as well as he does.
Yeah, it's definitely a trained technique. And for the players at home, how many hours a day do you spend training versus playing?
Oh, I'm the wrong person to ask that question.
Oh, I love this question. I love this question.
I love the game. I love playing. And so where I'm probably going wrong in my training is I'm probably playing too much and not doing enough off court. But my body's starting to feel it. So I actually have been better about going to the gym and taking care of my body. Wow.
Able to take that one home.
Yeah, there's Hovenier's energy. There we go. He's getting himself going, getting the team going.
He had the famous butt slap at the last stop.
Yeah.
It was a slap heard around the pickleball world.
Yep.
All right, SoCal making a charge, tying it up here at 4.
Lingwei signaling timeout. She can see that Blaine is hot. He's feeling it. He's fired up. See if they can go on a run.
Fu getting a little excited right there.
Yeah. When you're playing as athletic as Ryan and you're covering a large part of the kitchen and then you're taking the forehands from the left, good serve there. You once you start ripping, it's hard to slow down. And so I think what happened there is Ryan was just momentum and energy was driving him there.
All right, there's a side switch. Kong is telling him to take a timeout, but we're going to have a side switch here.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Pickleballers. Major League Pickleball is coming to San Clemente June 26th to the 29th. You do not want to miss it. Get your tickets at majorleaguepickleball.co.
Get to the side switch first, and they are rolling right now. 6-4-2 is the score. Madonia with a return into the net right now. He's feeling a little frustrated.
Ryan mouthing to me is so big about his serve. Yeah. I mean, they've turned this around because of Blaine's energy. Like, it's not even about pickleball right now. Blaine just got his team going. Yeah.
There's another big scream and a big serve. Momentum is everything right now.
All right, we've got a... I think they're switching on this one. I saw Steven signal to switch. Yep.
A little bit better point. Koller showing some frustration in this one.
10-4-2.
Game point. And the onslaught continues to pull out game number 2 here. The men take it for the SoCal Hard Eights. And he keep it going.
0-0-2.
Well, we'll find out in the next match. But now we have Ryan and Judit against Dominique and AJ.
I love seeing that energy possibly transfer over.
0-0-1. Second serve.
Good aggression there from AJ. Not that AJ isn't energetic. He's a lot more. He's a bit more quiet and
0-0-2.
intense and focused, so it doesn't come out the same way as Blaine. But by no means does he not want it just as bad. It's a good get from Judit and a really good put away from Ryan.
You could tell that she's been putting in the work on her athleticism here. She's been getting to those drop volleys pretty well. Not a shot working for anybody when they're playing against her.
Judit she's a beast. Not a bad idea from Dominique.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, especially over his left shoulder.
2-0-2. Right down. 0-2-1.
All right, 0-2-1. See if they can rattle off some points here. Defensive points there by Schaefer. The recognition of the Ernie and AJ being able to defend that lob.
Yeah, that was a really good get from AJ.
AJ's recognition right now.
Nice, yeah.
I don't know if you saw off that lob, AJ used the old baseball technique where he looked back to see where the ball was going to land, but then look back at the team to see where they were standing, to see where he was going to put his shot. That was pretty nice. Yeah,
AJ is one of those rare players who doesn't have a tennis background, or not as much as the other players, I should say. But he comes from hockey, and I know their coordination and their reaction and balance is insane. So a lot of those skills are transferring into pickleball for him. Kudos to him for being able to learn the strokes and the technical side of things.
We did notice that he's added a two-handed backhand dink to his game as well. So being able to translate those skills, definitely important right now as the evolution of pickleball is happening.
And they've taken a lead. Yeah, he saw that from a mile away. I actually like Judit redirecting it, but just a little too high, and he was really looking for that.
4-2-2. Left, reserve.
Oh, we're going to reserve that one.
4-2-2.
4-2-2. The Hustlers are up.
Point.
Great drop.
All right, one more and they get to the switch, which will be great. They've definitely killed the momentum. Blaine's over there nice and quiet.
5-2-2.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to get it going.
Point. Timeout change in 6-2-2.
There we go.
Oh,
that
yeah.
actually were weatherproof. It was incredible. So the vision and everything behind it.
Point.
There we go as New York keeps rolling.
7-2-2.
Well, to add to that, you know Pickleball's made it when you've got AL in New York, in Times Square with billboards everywhere. Like that was unreal.
Side out.
Side out.
I'm not sure what happened there.
This mixed doubles game, it took some awkward turns here.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. See if SoCal can capitalize here on their serve. There's one.
All right. You see Blaine getting a little more fired up, helping get his teammates going.
And across the bench, Kong trying to fire her team up. Gosh, AJ did a really good job of defending those overheads. Was able to get his team back to the kitchen line. A little bit of a pop-up there from Dominique, and then Ryan punished her right away.
4-8-1. Second serve.
Yeah, I think AJ needs to get really big right now. They're up 8-4. And I think he needs to stand in the middle, which he has been. He's been in the middle. Yeah.
Side out.
Good return.
All right. SoCal able to climb a little bit closer. Schaefer on the serve. I think Castillo was expecting the attack on that first one. Dominique just dinked it back. All
9-4-1.
right, let's see if they keep that strategy.
Second serve.
Missed third, definitely not on the agenda.
9-4-2. Point.
Yeah.
Castillo with the attack. And that's just good pickleball right there, you know. Schaefer was ready for that.
Yeah.
10-4-2.
Go, see if they close it out. Game point to take the lead.
Side out.
That's a quality dink there from Judit.
Yeah, that pushed Dominique back a little bit. Her body weight was on her back foot.
4-10-1.
She wasn't able to get balance in time for her contact point.
Ryan Fu getting big in the middle, trying to lead his team back. That's one for them. 5-10 on the one.
5-10-1.
They're going to have to dig really deep here.
Ooh. Wow, those were great get-backs, but Dominique able to put that one away. Fu was up a little too close to the kitchen there. See if he goes big with this serve.
5-10-2.
I'm sure he will. Yeah, he did. He literally hit the baseline on that.
That was impressive. He got exactly what he wanted out of it.
Yeah.
able to put it away. That's definitely something he works on, being able to do and create that short return. He's made a dent. 6-10-2.
Another big serve.
And that one goes out.
Whoa, I don't know.
He has to call it before the ball is dead, so they can't call it after the fact.
I think Dominique tried to call it though. I feel like she tried to call it.
I believe you can challenge the intent.
Yeah.
That is a great return off of that serve.
Yeah, but the SoCal Hot Eights have done a really good job of closing the gap now, putting some pressure on the New York Hustlers. But they have given up the serve, and we've got match point here. Yeah.
The pressure continues, and New York Hustlers take game 3 here in the first mixed doubles match to take the lead.
Yeah, you can see he's showing up with some sass.
We have been excited about this one the entire time since he walked onto the court. Blaine Hovenier, Mr. Energy himself. Just long there from Irina.
I don't think Irina was trying to keep it in. I think it was going straight for Lingwei.
Just a reminder here, New York is up 2-1. SoCal takes this one. We get to see a dream breaker.
Oh, she goes for the ATP, but it's not there. The space is quite tight there. You can see AJ putting his legs away, giving her space, but still couldn't get to it.
Yeah, not as much space here on Grandstand as there is on Championship Court.
A little confusion there.
Blaine definitely trying to get into the action here. Stepping over a little too much. That's a nice point there. New York up 4-0 here.
Well, it's hard to bring energy when you haven't scored too many points. There it is. Okay.
Here we go. Finger down right now time.
Great start from the New York Hustlers.
0-4-1. Second serve.
That's a nice speed up from Madonia that goes long. This is a big momentum swing. SoCal could put up a couple points. They're definitely going to take it back. But if the Hustlers can stop, and they do, they stop them right there, keeping them at 0. Very nicely done. See if New York can extend the lead. Tough. You saw her stop right there in the transition zone, getting ready to see what Blaine was going to do.
Yeah. Tough position for Lingwei to be in. She got stuck in transition both points there.
0-4-1.
Ooh, she was sitting on that one. Blaine knew he got caught.
Oh, he tried to leave it. But I think he couldn't get skinny enough on that one.
0-4-2.
Thank God that those signs were there protecting the fence. All right, as that one goes long. All right, the Hustlers get another shot to extend it out, keeping SoCal at zeros.
Oh, great defense. What a pull.
Striping it down the middle.
What a pull.
She held that one just the right amount of time to keep them off guard. And that's a point for New York. We're one away here from the side switch.
5-0-1.
And
Great
there it
serve.
is, 6-0. And we go to the side switch as New York tries to take this one. We got New York up 6-0 after losing 0-4 in the last match. They win this one, they take home the whole match. Kong has definitely fixed that forehand from the transition zone. Being able to reset that, and then Tereschenko with the mistake.
7-0-1.
I think he finally means it this time, where he's saying right now, because they need it.
Yeah, well, it's now or never, really. Okay, okay. All right, let's see what he's got.
All right, he's fired up here. It's going to be interesting because New York has 7, so they're going to be unwinding the stack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good point.
0-7-1.
Oh, she was sitting on that one.
Yeah.
And Madonia on his heels a little bit there.
I
Kong
think
able to pull it
Irina's
out.
been a little impatient. She's trying to pull the trigger and then create a little too early on in the rally. And Lingwei's been ready for it. All right, there we go.
There's one. There's one for him. Here we go. So they're up a lot, right? But SoCal's trying to come back, and everybody talks about that cliche, okay, one at a time, one at a time. How important is that for the mental side of this to come back from this type of deficit in this type of game?
I mean, it really is one at a time. There's no need to think a point ahead. It's just you're not there. You got to play for the point that you've got on your hands. Yeah, you can't plan on 3-4 points.
You feel players put too much pressure on themselves when they see that they need to put up a crooked number to try and make their way back into a game?
I don't know about that. I mean, I think they feel enough pressure as it is. 7-1, that's enough pressure.
7-1-2.
That's a tough change of end there. Let's see how it unfolds. That one left a little too high. And Madonia puts it away.
I don't like Blaine being up on the kitchen line when Irina's on the baseline.
1-7-2.
Great drop.
That
Great
one
point.
lands just in. And that is a great point there for SoCal.
Blaine getting really fired up now. He's looking over to his bench, trying to get them going as well, so he can feed up with their energy. They need this. They need to leave it all out there right now.
2-7-2.
Great try
another
from
one.
Irina. And it's not just Irina's drive, it's Blaine crashing forwards and putting that pressure on Lingwei. She can't just pop it back, right? She has to try to keep it low, and that's where the error comes from.
Great return.
Side out.
Almost.
I mean, the fact she got a paddle on that is impressive. You know, 7-3-1. Hustlers trying to close it out against the SoCal Hard Eights.
Wow, that was really good.
That is an impressive angle there.
Yeah.
7-3-2.
Starting to see more and more players practice that shot.
Well, it's hold on. Let's wait for this rally. Oh.
Here we go. We got a discrepancy here that it hit the player. All right.
It's also so hard to see with these replays. Okay.
All right. David is now 2-0 on discrepancies. We're having some fun here, but the ball did not hit. And that gives a point there to New York. And they are up 8-3.
8-3-2.
Great drop.
Oh, and that one definitely has killed the momentum. 9-3. They're creeping closer to winning this match.
9-3-2. Point. Timeout SoCal, 10-3-2.
Good timeout right there. All right, so match point.
You gotta play disciplined.
All right, let's see what happens here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, I really like that point because Blaine did not hit those speed ups 100%. He, I think, hit each one at around 85, 90%. Still very aggressive, and he just kept getting an easier block for 3 shots until he was able to put it away. And that's what I mean by discipline.
There we go. Again, to your point, not a fan of the strategy of Blaine sitting up there and just taking rockets at the kitchen line.
Left, reserve.
All right, here we go. We'll try it again.
3-10-2.
It's
Okay.
so long. That length plays such a factor at the kitchen line right now.
That's a pretty risky take by Blaine.
4-10-2.
4-10 on the 2. SoCal trying to come back.
Side out.
And that one did hit Irina.
Yeah,
She knew it.
yeah.
All right,
really
here we
went
go.
for
They
that.
get it back again. New York. This is match point for them.
10-4-1.
And there it is. Match point. The New York Hustlers have redeemed themselves, going 0-4 earlier, taking home this second match here on Grandstand Court, 3-1 against the SoCal Heart 8s.
Yeah, it's really tough to do after being 4-0 down, losing your previous match, bouncing right back and showing up the way they did. Congrats to them.
I mean, look how happy they are as teammates. They've bonded together now.
And SoCal is by no means a weak team. There's 4 really good players on that team, and they can beat any team out here.
It is definitely a quality team. We're going to get a chance to see them again. They're going to face off later in the day here on Grandstand Court as well. But Krista, great doing it for you here, doing this match with you here. We got the SoCal Heart 8s, the Chicago Slice coming up. Pleasure doing it. I wish you the best of the luck the rest of the season for you with the 5s.
Thank you so much.
And we look forward to seeing you more and more. So we'll be right back with our next match.